Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 51 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. I'm Nate, a.k.a. Angry Nate.
Joey. Just Joey.
Just Joey. I'm Collector Clint.
Just Ryan.
See, when he does a normal intro, it throws me off more than if he says something ridiculous like he's,
Well, I do it every now and then.
Yeah, just mix it up and keep us on our toes. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in this week. Couple quick housekeeping things. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksmen. Thank you, everyone, for the episode 50 love, for the game streams and supporting us on our getting to affiliate on Twitch. You guys have all played such a huge part of that, so we truly, truly, truly appreciate that. We've pretty much been in touch with all the winners, I think, Clint, for the shirts and the stickers and everything. So keep an eye out for those things. They'll be coming your way really soon. What else we got going on? Happy birthday to Julie,
Yeet, yeet.
the logo designer, thumbnail extraordinaire that helps us out every week. It's her birthday yesterday, or the day before now, once you hear this podcast. But happy birthday, Julie. You're probably not a day over 15, but you probably look 12. So congratulations.
But you look like you're 45.
Exactly.
If that makes you feel better.
That's what drinking the blood of all the children does.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I think as soon as she gets back to Florida, she just ages to like 60. I think that's just how it
But the
works.
thing is, she comes back to San Diego and then looks young again. It's kind of crazy.
It's weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of San Diego, we would have been in San Diego very shortly, probably celebrating with Julie in person, but unfortunately, all this COVID stuff happening, SDCC canceled. But don't despair. We've got some stuff in the works with a few other podcasts that you might have heard of. There's honestly too many people to name right now, but keep an eye out on the regular social channels for all the people you guys already listen to, or even just us, and we'll be sure to get you guys all those details for what we're going to be doing virtually for SDCC upcoming. I'm always forgetting Dorksman Bingo. Play Bingo, dorksmanbingo.com. Shout out to Andrew, of course, Andrew, who put the card together for us, and shout out to Larry for the redirect, so it's nice and easy instead of having to repeat the podcastbingo.com / whatever every week. So we appreciate that. Am I missing anything? I think I got everything for the housekeeping stuff.
I just want to address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And that elephant is Nate.
Yes.
So for everybody else that's just listening to this, they don't know, but Nate's not on screen with us today.
I'm not.
He's got a janky camera on his laptop.
I'm going to turn it on real quick. Let's see if it's still flickering. See,
No, it's still janky. It's still janky. You can go ahead and turn it back off. So all we're looking at is Nate's avatar, which, along with the rest of our Funko heads, was created by Austin. And it's throwing me off because I'm just like talking to this just big, black-eyed, crown-wearing avatar, and it's really throwing me off.
What's perfect is you can't see me just throwing up middle fingers.
Is that what you're doing behind the scenes?
Totally.
Flipping everybody
It's
off?
flipping you guys off. As soon as you guys start talking, it's just the fingers go up. Anyways,
well, hence the angry name. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But now that I got that out of the way, I did enjoy looking at everybody's Bingo 50 cards that they made.
Yes.
I enjoyed seeing some of the squares. I'm sure Andrew's going to see some of those and probably add some of them to the existing card. But it was very funny reading some of the squares that people made up.
Yeah, they were very creative. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Special shouts out
if you
to
haven't
Ed.
seen 'em-
Sorry,
here we go again.
We're like coughing out. That's the beauty of video conferencing, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Joey, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you have not seen the cards that were done yet, you can go look at our Twitter. I really need to put them on our Instagram. That's my fault. I've been kind of slacking on the IG here lately, but they are on our Twitter if you want to go check out some of the ones that people submitted, like Ed and Meg and Steph and
The
Andrew
pineapple
J.
thug.
Yes,
Ed,
the pineapple thug. I think that was what Ryan was about to talk about.
Yes.
So, well, hey, since we were giving shout outs,
Oh,
There you
that
go. The bell is back,
damn
baby.
bell.
Oh
The
boy.
bell is back.
Here we go.
That damn bell. We got to get a soundboard like the one that Damien has. We gotta invest in the soundboard.
There's digital
So-
stuff I can look into.
anyway,
Get more subscribers on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the_Dorksman. subscribe so we can put more money back into soundboards and bells. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't
We should
subscribe.
all have a bell. That's
Or
the next
I
thing.
want multiple bells, different frequencies and sizes. I can ring different ones for different people when they say different things.
Needs more cowbell.
Yes,
Ryan will get a cowbell. I want like a foghorn just because it's like angry. Yeah.
I want a triangle just so I can ring it like they
Just
do
like
on the
multiple
movies when
times?
it's dinner time out on the ranch.
We'll
Have
get
you
you
guys seen
wind,
that
we'll get
SNL
you wind
skit?
chimes. So
Have
it's
you
like
seen
a,
that SNL? No.
No?
You need the triangle because you need to be like Kristen Wiig on SNL when she plays
Yes.
it. She always kicks her leg up and then hits it underneath her leg. I want to see Joey do that.
Yes, it's gonna happen.
Anyway,
that.
please continue, Nate.
So we'll jump into the Ask the Dorksman questions. We always love your questions. We love hearing your answers to the questions. We love getting your questions. We're still got a backlog, but we still always enjoy more questions.
Yes.
So our first question today is from Jorge, Toys_RU Kid, Toys R Us Kid. You've probably seen him on the stream. He's on the Average Nerd podcast as well.
Yes, he
So
is.
shout out
Yep.
to those guys. Second shout out. Don't need to ding the bell.
No, they're 10 episodes in, so shout out to them.
Yeah, 10 episodes. They just released their episode yesterday, episode 10.
Give them a
So,
listen.
yeah. His question is, which characters would each of the Dorksmen be from Rick and Morty? You can't choose your own. The other guys have to choose for you. So that makes it much more interesting. I like
Yes.
that.
This is based on his he sent in this question when we did the Rick and Morty episode, and I've been chomping to get this one answered, so we finally got it in there.
So what do you think? Who would Joey be?
So everybody gets to say first who I am.
Yeah, is that how we're doing
so
it? We all say
Is
Ava
enjoying her milkshake that you made her, Clint?
Apparently, I don't know what
really
she's so excited
hyped up
about.
right now.
Did you put like too much sugar in there, or like what happened?
Oh,
No, you know what it is? There's some cocaine in there. That's what it is. That's why she's
there
all
you go.
crazy.
Are you saying cocaine's a hell of a drug? Good job, Ava.
Drug reference.
Yeah. I didn't force it.
I thought you'd put
didn't force it.
weed in there to like slow her down. So Colorado.
No,
drug
so if you guys really want to know what happened, I have a pint-sized hero of Cuddle Team Leader that went missing for 2 days, and she just found it, so she's super excited about it.
That's awesome.
So is that how we're doing it? We're going to go around and say who we think each person should be, or are we doing it like we'll say...
We'll just do like, so Joey answers first, so we
Okay.
pick who Joey is, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll go to Ryan, and then we'll go to me.
Okay.
This is gonna be difficult for me.
So, well,
It's true.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I've actually picked a number of them for both of you. I picked up an honorary mention and an actual pick. So,
Oh, do it.
You went all out, sir.
I did, but the reason for it isn't as exciting as you might think. So, for Joey, my honorable mention was going to be, and actually let's pulled up here. It was going to be Abradolf Linkler because I love and hate him at the same time.
Right.
It's
Perfect. It's perfect.
But the actual pick I went with for Joey is it's a character named, let me make sure I get it right, Little Dipper, who is the owner of Little Bits from Dimensional Cable, and that's because he's a big guy eating little food. So that was my pick.
Interesting.
That's perfect. I honestly don't think there's. That's kind of hard to top.
But go ahead and try anyway, Nate. Try to top it.
I would pick probably Snowball.
Isn't that the
Because
dog?
Yeah, Snowball's
Yes.
the dog. Yeah,
His fur is white and fluffy, or what?
yeah, because he's white and fluffy.
Okay. Not sure if that was a racist or a fat joke or a little bit of both. I don't know.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both, apparently.
Okay.
All right, Ryan. Ryan, who doesn't know the show Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So pick Rick or Morty.
Yeah, can I just use the default answer and then Clint be Rick Sanchez? Since apparently that's already a thing.
Well, we're not picking me. We're picking Joey right now. Yes.
Yeah, who am I? He's got to be Morty then.
Yeah, he's
No,
Morty.
I'm just gonna give a smartass answer because I know the character's name from the show. You can be Bird Person. How's that?
Oh, there you go.
I don't know
Bird
for
Person.
whatever
Bird Person
reason.
is actually the person I chose for Nate, so we can do Nate next.
Well, that's a good
I
segue
chose
then. There
Bird
you
Person.
go.
Because Bird Person is just very cut straight to the point and will cut you in general, like knife cut you if you cross him at all. So
Okay.
that's why I picked Bird Person for Nate, or Phoenix Person at this point, I guess, in
Right.
time. So that's Nate. Nate's Bird Person. Clint, who do you think Nate is?
Crap, I forgot my honorable mention. I got to go find it again.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I know. I had
Put
it all
the-
written down. I lost it.
Put the doobie down.
No way, man. Oh, Colorado Doug joke. Let's
That's
see.
the second one.
Okay, let's go to Ryan. All right, Ryan, is he
Go
Rick
Ryan,
or
I'm
Morty?
looking.
Since that's the only people you know.
Nate? Morty?
Yes.
Sure. Morty.
Nate, you're a Morty.
All day. All day.
Well,
All
which
day.
Morty? Which dimension's Morty?
That evil one that's killing everybody else.
Yes.
Oh, the President Morty, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because Nate wants to take over the world.
I
Well,
do.
Who
I
doesn't,
do.
right? Well, so mine is actually I will find my honorable mention. I have this list here I'm looking through. I got to remember, but my actual one was Noob because this guy gets it.
Yeah. That's a good choice.
Here, what
So,
you want to do? What do
Clint.
you want to do next? Do you want to do me?
Clint. Everybody wants to do you next, Clint.
Yeah,
You're Squanchy for sure. 'Cause Squanchy is just always a hot mess and looking like he's strung out on something. I don't know what better to make Clint besides Squanchy.
You should have seen his hair when he jumped on the pre-party this morning before we went live. Well, morning my time.
it's like morning.
Right? Well, I mean, in our defense, you did just wake up from a nap, so
It's true.
you
Yep,
got
you're right.
that morning hair.
You're right.
Your hair was
What's
pretty
the orange
crazy.
Meeseeks? What's the orange Meeseeks?
It's the Kirkland Meeseeks.
Kirkland. Yes, you could be Kirkland Meeseeks as well.
What do you
That's
want?
your honorable mention.
You could be. I mean, besides the fact that we made him as Rick as for his birthday gift, that aside, I think Mr. Poopy Butthole just because of the name, purely for the name. Yeah.
By the way, I got my my artist rendition from Austin this week. I already
Awesome.
framed it. It looks great. Thank you, Austin, and thank you guys for the wonderful commission.
Hell yeah.
All right, Ryan. Who
Ryan.
is Clint?
I said it earlier. Rick Sanchez.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lame.
I don't know the show. What do you want from me?
Speaking of which, Ryan is Gearface or Gearhead. I can't ever remember.
Oh yes, Gearhead.
Gear-
Yes, yes, he is Gearhead.
He is definitely
Absolutely.
Gearhead.
No, Ryan. In my opinion, I was saying his honorable mention is Morty, but
Which Morty?
Just Morty, just Morty.
Regular Morty.
Eh,
you
maybe
like-
he's
Oh, I
borderline
got
and
mine.
Jerry.
So anyway, borderline. He's the offspring though. He's not. Ryan. Ryan might be a little Jerry, but every once in a while he shows a little Beth in him, a little tough.
He's got like 4 or
smart guy.
5.
Yeah. But my final answer for him is Roy because he's living in a whole different universe.
Yeah, that makes sense for me.
I would think he's potentially Crombopolis Michael as well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
assassin?
Yeah. Just yeah.
I thought of my Nate's honorable mention. It was left-handed Morty.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Do you understand why, Nate?
I don't, but you can explain it.
Well, because they're like they call him Fat Morty. But
Yeah.
he thought he was left-handed Morty, and one of the Mortys telling him he should eat more salads with his left hand. So
Wow.
I was
Fat
totally
joke.
kidding. That was a fat joke. Yes.
That was a fat joke.
That's why it's an
Wow.
honorable mention. You're more noob because this guy gets it.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Jorge, for that question. We
Jorge,
always
I wanna know your
appreciate
answers.
the Rick and Morty. Yeah, we want to hear your answer. We love the Rick and Morty questions because we're big fans.
Well, three of 4 of us are big fans.
You should watch it, Ryan. It's really good. You should definitely watch it.
Then you should watch some SVU. We'll just leave it like that.
Fine, I'll do it.
Fine.
Fine.
Fine then.
But yeah, Jorge, let us know who you think we each of the Dorksmen would be if we were Rick and Morty characters. We'd love to hear your answer. Even if you want to do the same for the average nerd guys, that would be awesome as well. So
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
actually
look forward to
hear
your
that too.
answer.
Yeah.
Second question this week comes from birthday girl Julie Bove. Her question is, what is your favorite movie of 2020 so far?
And just to clarify, we're going to pick something that actually came out at the movie theater, not some direct-to-streaming movie.
Yes.
Because for me, that would have been Extraction.
Interesting choice.
That was pretty good.
Interesting choice.
Huh.
Extraction. That was the name of it, wasn't it, Nate? The Chris
Yeah,
Hemsworth.
Thor
yeah.
plays.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good.
Chris
But as far
Hemsworth.
as movie theater, first of all, I told this story off air, but I'll retell it anyway. It was very challenging to remember which movies had come out in 2020 that I had seen, and then B, it was difficult to find stuff online because I was like, okay, I'll search for movies in 2020, and that brought up way too much stuff. So I said best movies of 2020, and the majority of what it brought up was direct to streaming stuff because pandemic hit in mid-March ish. As far as when states started shutting down and then movie theaters started shutting down, of course. So the last movie I went and saw was Birds of Prey. I was actually halfway through it when I had to leave to go emergency grocery shopping. But that is not on the list because I did not enjoy that movie. The two that I actually did see in the movie theater that I enjoyed was Call the Wild. So I picked that because I actually saw that in the movie theater. And then second, I said Onward, although technically I cheated because I didn't see Onward when it came out at the movie theater. I actually saw it when they pushed it to Disney Plus. But Call the Wild was pretty good. It's been a long time since I read the book, but I thought it was a pretty interesting story. And Onward was good. I wouldn't call it one of Pixar's greatest movies. I think a lot of people hyped it up and said it was, but it had a couple plot holes in it and not all the laughs that I thought there would be for a Pixar movie. So, but again, don't have a lot to pick from. But so that was my two. So I picked Onward first, but again, clarification, I saw that on Disney Plus, so that's why I picked Call the Wild as well.
I don't think I've seen either one of those.
Well, Onward's on Disney Plus now, so
oh yeah,
I even if I wasn't to Call of the Wild, I think the completely CGI dog throws me off. Anyway,
I don't know, man. It depends if you let your mind go. A crazy side story is when Rogue One came out, best Star Wars movie, by the way. But the Grand Moff Tarkin. So I didn't realize, and I should have known the actor was dead, obviously, right? But when I was watching the movie, I didn't even realize that it was one of those face overlay CGI technologies that they did with like a body double standing in.
Right.
And then, like, once somebody pointed that out to me, that was one of their biggest complaints about it. And when I watched it afterwards, now that's all I focused on. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of that stuff is whether you fixate on it or not while you're watching it. Like when I was watching the Call of the Wild, every now and then I would be like, okay, that's obviously CGI. But, you know, I tried not to fixate on the CGI dog as much just so I could enjoy it. But I know what Clint's talking about because the thing happened with Rogue One. Somebody points something out to you, oh, that CGI dog's so stupid before you see it. And then that's all you see is the stupid CGI dog and the problems.
Yeah, focus on the story. That's what the movie's about.
Just close your eyes and don't even watch the movie. Just listen and just formulate the images in your own head. Don't do that. That's a waste of money. Going to a theater watching a movie. Anyways, Clint, how about you?
So my answer's kind of the opposite of Joey, and same thing. And not a lot. I didn't see a couple movies. I liked Birds of Prey. I thought it was entertaining, but it, like Joey kind of mentioned, you got to kind of turn your brain off and just let it be what it is. But I liked Onward in the theater too, and I maybe that one might stick out a little more because that was the last movie I saw like the weekend before the movie theaters closed and shit hit the fan. So I agree it's not one of Pixar's best, but I mean that's a high bar for a Pixar best movie. So I still like it.
Oh yeah, Nate, how about you?
2020, Bad Boys for Life. I think this is like one of two movies I saw this year in the theater. Was Terminator this year or was it the last year?
It was last year.
Okay,
I saw that in the theater.
You saw in theater? Yeah. So then Bad Boys for Life was the last movie I saw in the theater before everything kind of went crazy. And so I mean by default it was the best movie I saw in the theater this year. But I mean I did enjoy it very much because it's a Bad Boys movie. We talked about this and we were talking about how back in January when we did the previews, we were like, man, we're all looking forward to all these movies, and then March came around and that was like 6 years ago and we're still trapped in our houses. So
well, I mean that was what Wonder Woman and there was
Black Widow.
Black Widow is the one that really just is a stab to the heart for me, obviously. As a Marvel
fan. It's still coming. It's coming.
Not till November. Yeah, but not till November.
Yeah.
And it screws up the entire timeline for everything else, but that's another story.
Well, we say November. We're hoping for November.
Yeah. Right. Good point.
What about you, Ryan?
I have no default answer because I have not seen a movie in the theater this year at all.
You didn't see Bad Boys?
I was supposed to. And, going back to January when we were talking about the upcoming releases for the year, I was excited for it. I just never got around to seeing it. Obviously, Doolittle wasn't a great thing, but I had intended to see that as well, and I didn't see it. So, yeah, all the movies that I planned to go see, I did not see. When we were up in Washington, and actually Vancouver, while we were on our honeymoon, the wife and I had planned on maybe trying to go watch a movie then, but of course, everything just got chaotic. They shut everything down. So I haven't seen anything at all this year. I have no answer for you at all. While it's not a movie, it's something that I did binge watch. I would highly recommend watching Upload. It's not the same thing, but that's one of the things I enjoyed watching.
Yeah. Not a movie, not in the theater, but yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and push that one as your answer. Go ahead.
It's a good watch. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Favorite movie I saw this year was The Dictionary. That's now my corrected answer.
It's
This
irrelevant.
happening right now. This podcast is my favorite movie of 2020.
Yes.
Well, it's not Joey's favorite because he can't see you, Nate. All we
That's
see is
true.
your
Yeah.
avatar.
You guys might actually prefer looking at my avatar because it is.
All I see is your avatar, and whenever you talk, there's that ring that just goes whoomp,
It just
whoomp,
pulsates.
whoomp, whoomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's distracting. Like I'm watching it as I talk, and it just grows bigger and smaller. And
We should
bigger.
do one where it's just our heads, one episode.
That actually might be funny.
That would
should
be
do
that
that.
would be pretty. We could
And
we
do
could
it live
that
on Twitch.
Yeah, we should do that one live on Twitch, where it's just all our heads.
People would love that.
Yeah, people are like, oh, good. I don't have to look at these ugly motherfuckers.
Anyway,
Anyways, thank you, Julie, for the question. We're curious if you were able to catch any movies in theaters this year, and which ones were your favorite. Maybe it was The Dictionary, like Joey's, or maybe it was a real movie, an actual movie. But let us know. We'd always love to hear your answer. Which kind of ties nicely into our topic this week. It's like I said, it's been about 6 years since we've been outside, and since life was, quote unquote, normal with everything. And we noticed some movie theaters were reopening, and we wanted to talk a bit about the movie theater experience and just kind of things of what we missed, any fun stories from the past about involving movie theaters and things that we've enjoyed, and kind of what we're looking forward to once things are opening up safely again. So we'll leave it open. What are your thoughts?
I just want to kind of start about them reopening in the first place. Like, to me, if the government thinks it's safe to go into restaurants as long as you're maintaining social distancing, I would think movie theaters would be even safer, because here's the inherent thing about the restaurant thing reopening is you don't have your mask on because you've got to eat. It's the same thing with the Disney parks reopening right now, and Universal, I think, is about to start trying to reopen too. They're requiring you to wear a mask everywhere you go, except when you sit down to eat. So to me, that's one of the most dangerous, I guess, places. If I don't want to use that term and like overuse it, but I guess one of the riskier things is because you don't have the mask on. But again, you're eating, so hopefully you're not coughing and sneezing while you're eating, because you have more than germs flying around. But anyway, like, the movie theaters are set up perfectly, because even here, our movie theater, you have to pick a seat. So I don't know how it is where y'all are. And it wasn't always like that, but like in the last year or so, they started making there was no more general admission. Right. So you had to choose a seat. Even when you got to the box office, like, not even ordering it online, but like I walk up to the box office, pay for a ticket, and they say, okay, look at the screen and tell me which row and seat number you want.
Yep.
Right.
So that's like super easy for a movie theater to just block out the proper number of seats around it. Right. And then I don't remember if it was one of my kids or my wife I was having this conversation with, and it was brought up, well, nobody's going to release a new movie with being able to have 25 to 50% capacity, because they're not going to make their money for the movie. They're going to want to wait till it's 100% capacity. And I was like, well, this is a perfect time then to bring back something that I don't know if y'all had around y'all when y'all were kids, but we had dollar movie theaters. And I don't know if that was a thing growing up. We don't have any around here where I live at now. But we used to always go to the dollar movie theater. Like when my family was on hard times, like that was our movie theater treat, was waiting 6 months or whatever it was to go to the dollar theater. Like, to me, if I'm a movie theater and I'm trying to support my employees and I'm trying to make some kind of money, that's what I'm doing. I'm blocking off the proper number of seats around where you're supposed to be, requiring everybody in there to have a mask on, and I'm showing some older movies. Now, I know there's probably some legal things that they'd have to work out with the distributor, the movie theater, not the movie theater, the movie company, and all that kind of stuff. But you think they would be itching to make some money too. Oh, hey, we're going to take reshow the Harry Potter movies, reshow all the Marvel movies, reshow, all these old movies that people would pay a discounted price. I would go and pay $1 as long as, I felt safe with the social distancing protocols that the movie theater was putting in place, and go see an older movie with my family just to get out of the house.
They could even do that at the theaters right now, like locally here in Hawaii. The last time I remember them doing it was last summer, but they would bring out a lot of the old films, like they even did Back to the Future. And
well, they do a
like
summer program,
half price or whatever it is, right? But it's the same theater that you watch it in, and like now we have a Titan XC. We have like three screens in the consolidated here in Honolulu. But imagine going and watching Back to the Future 2 or Back to the Future 3. By the way, shout out to Alex from Secondary Heroes, since we're talking about Back to the Future here. But imagine watching that on that massive Titan XE screen in that Dolby Atmos sound system. I would love to do that.
I'm wondering if some of the older movies, if they're able to play them with the newer technology that they have without the movie studio having to convert it somehow. I'm wondering if that's what's holding them back from doing some of the movies.
That's a good point, yeah.
Maybe.
But there's none of them. I know they can do some because, you know, when Ryan brought up the deal at their movie theaters, that made me remember that every summer they do, it's called like Summer Movies Kids Club or something like that Cinemark does. And it's probably all the Cinemark chains do it. And it's like $1 and it's like every Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's like at 10 o'clock, they open up like 4 movie theaters and, you know, they just show old kids movies and stuff like that, which is great to, you know, bring little summer camp kids to and, you know, your kids and stuff like that. So again, I don't know why. Like it's just something that's been working in my head. And why have drive-in theaters not sprung back up? I know in some places they have,
Right.
But you would think that'd be something that people would be trying to push to get up somehow, some way to make money again, you know, for the movie industry. But
do they even have any drive-ins in your guys' area?
Yes, and yeah, they have a couple here. Yeah,
We had one when I was in my younger days, but I don't recall when they closed it, probably before 1990, and we've never had one since.
well, they're not. I mean, traditionally they're not profitable. That's why, but that's kind of changing now. You know, as an only option. It's funny. You go to Wikipedia and look up the top grossing movies of 2020. When you get to about June 21st was Jurassic Park. June 28th, was Zootopia. July 5th was Ghostbusters, the original, and July 12th was Empire Strikes Back. And they say even specifically grosses are primarily from drive-in theaters, so at least they're exploring that option.
It's good.
But it's funny to see those listed, especially what is it? Empire Strikes Back was the number one film for the 12th time in its release history, 40 years after its original release and 23 years after its most recent stint at number 1.
Wow. Well, I mean, it is a big year for Star Wars, you know, especially Empire, being that it is.
Well, sure, but it's just funny to read those little stats. So I mean, there are drive-ins doing things, and I think part of the issue is, you know, because they're kind of outdated, that they weren't really included with any of the policies that were being written for COVID. So it's getting those additioned or amended or whatever the case is, and then getting, you know, people to actually open them up.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that they're, you know, in the areas that they're available. Truth be told, I've never been to drive-in movie theater. I've never had the availability to go to one.
Right.
You know? I've always seen them on TV and in movies, people going to drive-in theaters and stuff like that, and never actually had the chance to go to. I've been to a couple of outdoor movies that they would do, whether it was at a football field and they did it on their Jumbotron or something like that. But an actual drive-in, I've never actually been able to go to.
It's a fun experience, actually, especially if you do it right.
I feel deprived of my movie experience
sorry.
as a child. Or as a teenager and sneaking in a trunk or something like that, which you always see on TV and in the movies.
Yeah, you pay for 2 tickets and there's 19 people with you, and it's not like the people going into the drift
like a clown
didn't know
car.
your tail end is hitting the ground and sparking as you drive by, but they're like, that'll be $10.50, please. You know, not even thinking about it.
Real talk. Have you guys ever been in somebody's trunk before? Like ridden in a trunk? I have.
I have.
Yeah. Well, you're the odd man out, Nate. Bye.
Thanks, MC. So anyway, back to the movie theater discussion here. I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sold with them opening right now and the increase in COVID going on that I would want to even attend one. I know things are opening, I think due to impatience, and I understand the economical reasons, but I don't think it's safe to go, even if they do procedures. But I will say, I know, like you mentioned Cinemark. I know Cinemark's actually done a lot in the sense of sanitation now that they weren't doing before. Like they have a guy in a hazmat suit basically spraying down their leather seats. So, you know, they're coming in hot, but how it's going to go forward, I have no clue.
I think you've got to go forward with some kind of contingency plan because, you know, like we've discussed before, and I'm sure people have seen, it's like March, I think, is the earliest they're predicting a vaccination to be available. You know, so I hope they come up with something that's safe for people to do to help out the economy and help people that are, you know, out of work and stuff like that. But, you know, B, just give us a safe option to go do something, you know, outside of the house. It's becoming a mental thing for a lot of people, you know.
Oh, totally.
Totally.
not getting to go do anything. And
Oh yeah,
especially
and
people that are already at a fragile state as it is, as far as social interaction is concerned, and then not being able to do anything. I'll admit I've had some bad days myself, just sitting around and not having anything to go do and not having any social interaction outside of, the internet and social media interaction.
Yeah. For me, it's I mean, we've talked about this. It's more of just kind of the option of being like, can I choose to go and watch a movie and be like, no, I don't feel like watching a movie, but I feel like going for a walk. Now it's, I can't actually choose to not go watch a movie. It's, I'm just going to go for a walk because there's literally nothing else to do. So I think that, that plays a big part of it, is just having that choice of doing something. I know people joke, be like, I've been preparing for the pandemic my whole life by, sitting in my room and playing video games. Like, hey, you know what? That's your choice to do it. That's cool. But, you really have no choice right now. And I think, when the easier people understand that, it's, you kind of helps you understand what other people are going through, especially during this time. I do feel bad for the movie theaters. It's like a lot of people, their jobs are just permanently on hold.
If they still have them,
and that really sucks. So,
well, wasn't there even talk of AMC having to do something drastic? I don't think it was quite bankruptcy, but they were just doing horrible, and they don't know what they're going to do because of this. And I mean, there's a lot of businesses that have that. But kind of back to the discussion at hand, there's something to be said about going to the movies. I love going to I go see a lot of shitty movies, even just because I like to go see the theater. You have to sit down in the theater. You get to pick it, and the seats have gotten more comfortable. I mean, I do remember. We're old enough to remember movie theaters when more stadium seating was a thing, and Joey sits in front of you, and you can't see shit.
Exactly.
We're also privileged in the sense that they now have, like, a lot of them, because it's economical, have those leather seats that recline, and they're easier to clean, and they're the stadium seating, so you can see, and of course the sound and everything else. What I always like is, you actually have to pay attention in the movie. Like, don't get me wrong, we live in a great time when you can watch almost anything here at home. You can even bootleg things you're not supposed to, but there's something about going to a movie theater, turning your phone off, or at least hiding it, and actually sitting down and watching a movie. And that you can't do that at home. I'm sorry. You could try, but I mean, it's nice you can pause it when you got to pee, but at the same time, there's something about just being able to, nothing else matters right now. You're in a dark room for 2 hours watching a movie. I like the previews, I like to see what's coming out. So I miss that immensely. Even seeing something bad, I miss that immensely.
I think it's the social portion of it. And going back to Nate's thing, even if you are one of those people that were like, hey, I've been preparing for this my whole life, it's your damn choice to be a hermit.
Right.
Now you don't have that choice anymore. For the people that thrive on social interaction, you have to understand that some people are just, I don't want to use the word socially awkward, but maybe socially distance is more their thing, and they just don't like to deal with people. That's fine. That's your personality type. But for the people that thrive on social interaction and they want to see their friends, they want to be out in public, they don't even have that given choice to them anymore. And that's the huge problem in this world, is we have all those rights essentially taken away from us. And we're forced to do what's quote unquote right. And I agree, the safer thing is to be at home, but you have that choice taken away. That's the hard thing that all of us are just trying to come to terms with.
Yeah, and it's like, one of the things movie theaters have meant for me in the last couple of years. So most of y'all know my wife's business. She's got an at-home daycare, and it's rather chaotic when it's at max capacity around here. Mm-hmm. So like over the summers, when Clint said even go and see a bad movie, that made me think of, like, I would, like, on days where I was just like, okay, I've just got to get out of this house and get away from all this chaos. I would just go watch a movie that it was either something that I had no interest in seeing normally, or something that I had already seen once or maybe twice already, just to go ahead and get out of the house and, just get some peace and quiet and go sit in the dark. There were several times over the past couple of summers where I just went and paid for a ticket, basically just to have a nice, quiet, cool, dark place to sit in and just chill out. And I would, sneak in some candy, because that's how I roll. Sneak in my candy. I'm not paying $5 for it. And just go sit down, and I would play on my phone half the time. Like, just.
Well, you're that guy, yeah.
Just to get away. There was like three other people in the movie theater. Trust me, I wasn't going into a very popular movie if I was not going to be watching it. So,
right.
It's just like stuff like that too that you don't think about. Just an escape. kind of, in my situation, a literal escape, just to get out of the house to to have somewhere to go. But
I do like, so one of the things, Joy, you're talking about, like how pretty much every theater nowadays is you got to book a seat in advance.
yeah,
I still remember back in the day when you had to line up like 3-4 hours in advance for a midnight screening just to get a good seat. I remember watching
yeah,
one of my most memorable ones was definitely the Dark Knight, and I remember getting off work like 5:30 and just booking it straight to the theater, and there was already like a huge line, and we waited from 6 p.m. all the way till the midnight release, sitting on the floor. This was like just before smartphones and stuff, right? So you didn't have your iPhone to sit there and play games, or like the battery life wasn't going to last that long. So you're just like you're standing there, sitting there, and it was just such a great experience. And it's different. You don't get that anymore.
yeah.
It's like lining up for Hall H, but not really.
Not 2 days in advance type of thing.
But,
Yeah,
yeah. And I don't really miss that. The fact that I had to get there so early to go to see a movie, but I do miss what it meant, because what that meant was that those people that were with you cared for that movie, and they were so passionate about it that they were going to sit there for hours and hours, and nobody would be on the phone in the theater. Nobody would be checking their messages and whatever. No one would come in late, because if you came in late, you're sitting in the front row and you can't do shit.
Stiff
right?
neck.
Yeah. So like things like that, I miss and don't miss about that. But it's like Joey was saying, it's just like it's that feeling of like you're doing something and you're immersed in that moment, and you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
I mean,
Good
like
way
the
to say
Rise of Skywalker, for instance. I think Nate remembers this because I was talking to him that day. We had just finished a basketball tournament, and that round we got knocked out earlier than expected. And I'm like, it was the weekend Rise of Skywalker came out, and I was like, I don't want anybody to spoil it for me, so I'm going to go ahead and see about a ticket. And then so there were like 4 tickets left before it was sold out, because it was starting in like 30 minutes. But the good thing about it was I got to select a seat, so it didn't matter if I got there after the movie started. I knew exactly which seat I was going to be in. And it was funny, Nate mentioned the Dark Knight, because I remember Dark Knight being one of the movies I had to line up for. And then Dark Knight Rises, I remember lining up for that. He was talking about sitting on the floor, and I sat on the floor and put my foot in some gum. Like I still remember lining up with my sister-in-law and my wife for that movie and sitting down. And when I finally got up, when they finally let us in, I had gum all stuck to the side of my shoe. And then Force Awakens, when that first came out, talking about lining up. Like I got to the movie about 3 hours early, 2 or 3 hours early, and we were the first ones. 30 minutes later, no, I'm sorry, we showed up, somebody else showed up after us, and then for another 30 minutes is when everybody started showing up. So for like 30 minutes, there was just like 5 people waiting in line. But like Nate said, these people that are lining up for you, just like when you're at cons and you're in line for a panel, you're in line to buy a collectible, something like that. Those people that you're surrounded by. For the most part, we have that flipper thing with collectibles, but for the most part, those people that are in line with you are fans just like you, so you automatically have that that tie to bind you socially. You're like, we're both here for Force Awakens, and then you start talking about what your favorite Star Wars movie is and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of that too. Ryan mentioned the social part of it, and it's very frustrating.
It's the camaraderie that most of us are missing. And to Joey's point, I think the biggest one for all of us, and specific like us 4, would be having stood in line at Fun Days last year. That was the first time that we all met, and a lot of the group that we walked in with, that's the first time we got to all meet in person. But being able to share that common passion with everybody around you just builds that hype and the excitement even more, so that way when you're walking into the event, or in this case walking into the theater, people would probably be theorizing, what do you think's going to happen, like what's going to happen with Batman, is he going to do this, is he going to do that, since you guys are talking about Dark Knight. And it helps to build the anticipation and get the mind going, or in my case, that's what I would be.
I love that audience involvement in stuff. And when it's appropriate, sometimes people, say stuff and do stuff and they're clapping at times. And you're like, stop it. That's not, But when there's just those wow moments, like I'm thinking most recently with Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
When everybody shows up and, when he first wields the hammer and, everybody goes nuts. That's appropriate. Or like we keep talking about Dark Knight. And it's kind of like that in-game experience because, everybody was hyped for Dark Knight coming out, right?
Yeah.
Batman Begins had kind of, reset everything with Christopher Nolan. Everybody's really hyped about Dark Knight. And the two scenes I'm thinking of specifically that everybody went nuts was the scene where Batman kidnapped the guy. I can't remember the character's name. With the jet passing by and picking up his little beacon thing from the parachute. Everybody went nuts for that. And then the scene where him and the Joker are having the showdown in the street and he's on the bat cycle and he drives up the wall and reverses and turns around. Everybody went nuts during that scene. And that's that other stuff that you miss being able to enjoy with people that really love the movie and really are passionate about it. But yeah, that in-game scene is hard to beat as far as a movie theater experience.
Oh yeah, I don't think anything will ever top that for me for at least another 10, 15 years. I mean, granted, Marvel was building up to that for over 10 years. And while we all had a feeling that Captain was going to wield Mjolnir to have it fly off while Thor was battling with Thanos, and then all of a sudden you see Cap pick it up, everybody's like, holy shit! Holy shit! And then, of course, the most important thing after all of that was when he finally said, Avengers, assemble. And everybody just lets loose. I miss that immensely.
Do you have any moments, Clint, from movies that you remember that the crowd going crazy?
I mean, there's a couple. I'm trying to think of them all now. You guys took the good ones. Of course, Endgame's one of them. I mean, I haven't gone to these showings in a while that have that kind of crowd either. I usually go Sunday or the first thing in the morning.
It doesn't need to be like the initial release of something, but maybe think back, since you love Wayne's World so much. Do you remember when you went to go watch the movie for the first time?
I do. I mean, we were like 12, so it's not the same thing. But I definitely remember seeing it because I was a big fan of the SNL skit. But I'm trying to think of like some of the other. I got to think about this. Oh, Anchorman. I remember Anchorman really well.
Yes.
The best and the best thing was with Anchorman, like I went to the movie by myself. Like I'm not waiting for anybody. Nobody wants to go or can go. I'm just gonna go. Sat down and I laughed my ass off for the next 2 hours. Didn't have anybody there to judge me about it or make me think twice about it. It was a great moment. I remember that actually really well now.
I'm wondering what everybody's first movie theater memory is. I'll go first, give y'all time to think. So my first one is actually going to see Fantasia. My mom took me to go see Fantasia when it came out. Now, I don't remember if it was when it first came out. I'd have to see what the original release year was or if it was a re-release. But I was young. Like, this is the first memory I can have of the movie theaters. And I just remember being, thrown off because it's not the typical, like, movie format, right? Because it's like a bunch of little smaller stories almost that are intertwined into one kind of longer story. So it's not your typical format of a movie. So that kind of threw me off as a kid because I wasn't used to that kind of stuff. And then just the animation was so wild and crazy, right? So, if you've seen Fantasia, you know about the dancing hippos and the marching brooms and all that kind of stuff. And that was really weird for a kid. So my first movie theater experience was like a trip on LSD almost. So I know,
good analogy,
I know Clint knows what I'm talking about, but
totally.
it was just really weird, for that to be your first movie theater experience is something that's that trippy as a kid's movie to see.
Anybody else have an answer? If not, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have two things that come to mind. Number one, I think we've talked about this on a previous podcast episode, but this movie theater is not there anymore. It used to be called Waikiki 2. It was this massive, like 80-foot screen in Waikiki, and it was a 2-floor theater. And the oddest thing about this place was there was a balcony where they had an organ player. I don't remember what movie I saw the first time there, but it was just
Phantom of the Opera.
Clint's making this face like, what in the actual hell? But yeah, I don't remember the movie, but it was really weird that it was a 2-tier theater, so you could sit either below or above, right? Kind of like a normal theater you would go to now. that does like plays and whatnot, but just the organ player was just weird. So before the movie played and before the the trailers came on, when the lights were still on, the organ player would be playing. Very odd. And then the other one was, we also in Waikiki, we used to have an IMAX theater. So being able to watch something on that massive screen, which I think was probably some sort of field trip for school, some sort of educational program. But if you've never seen something on an IMAX, it's an experience. It's like pretty much top to bottom the entire building of a screen. That's all.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I've been to one IMAX. I don't think it was an actual movie though. I think it was when a lot of them around here were still playing just like educational documentary type stuff, and so I saw something there, and I think that was through school too. But I can't really recall going to see an actual movie at the IMAX. I may have, but I mean, obviously I wasn't that impressed if I don't remember. Nate, do you have a first movie? Oh, you're defaulting to Clint.
I'm
That
defaulting
must
to
mean
Clint
you
first.
You know what my first, what movie I remember seeing first, I can't recall if there's anything before that, was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I really enjoyed the movie. I really thought it was, even at that young age, it was really cool to see.
Oh yeah, I bet you enjoyed that at a really young age, didn't you, Clint?
Anyways, I seen the animation and the live action was what really got me. I thought that was so cool how they did that. And of course, Christopher Lloyd's in it. So Back to the Future, that's when he was popular. So, recognizing him. And that's kind of, I think, my first actual movie theater memory that I have.
So,
Nate, you got to go now.
For me, it would have to be the one the most memorable early one. I don't know if this was my first movie that I've seen in the theater, but it would have been Batman, which was
Michael Keaton.
kind of an odd thing. Michael Keaton Batman.
Nice.
So it's kind of an odd thing to take. So I just looked it up. I would have been 8 years old, so I was still quite young. And the first Batman movie was like, it wasn't super dark, but it was there were some scenes in there that still, like, I think were kind of shocking for a kid, especially.
Oh yeah,
it was
Like,
dark for the time. Definitely dark for the time.
Like when for example, like when she throws the water on Joker's face, and he's like, I'm melting, and then he just goes boo, and like that shit stuck with me from when I was a kid. But I think Batman was the first. That was the first one. I remember it was Capital 6 in Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. That theater's long gone now. There's like another theater in place of it, just kind of further down the street. But I still remember we used to live a little bit further away from downtown, so it would take maybe a 45-minute drive or so to get into the heart of downtown, and with all the traffic and everything. I remember my dad was looking for parking, and of course he wouldn't pay for the expensive parking near the theater. We'd have to park a few blocks away, which is And I remember I had to pee really, really bad. And he was still kind of trying to find parking. My mom's like, well, you're just going to have to pee in this bag here. So I remember peeing I remember peeing in a bag in the back seat of my dad's car on the way to see Batman. So that's part of the reason why it's such a memorable theater experience.
I was going to say, did it scar you for life, Nate?
No, it is what it is. You're a kid. I remember it, but I wasn't I don't have a problem peeing.
The fact that you had to pee is still funny.
Right, exactly.
So I looked up the Fantasia thing because I was curious. Now, obviously, the first one came out in 1940, but the re-releases, it was either 85 or 90. So I was either 5 or 10 because that was the main reissue years I could find. So I would think 5 was probably when it was. So that's a pretty early memory because it was in 1985, so I was born in 1980. So that's a pretty early movie theater memory to have. Because I don't think I was 10, because I think I would remember that. I mean, you're in usually 5th grade by that point when you're 10, and my memories would probably be a little bit better formed than they are of this experience. So that's crazy that at 5 years old to still remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
35 years ago now.
Yeah. Joy, you said you like to sneak snacks into the theater.
Except because this brings me to my next point. I love the fact that movie theaters have full restaurants now that you can have inside of them. That is so awesome to me to just be able to sit down. And the only bad thing, I went and saw, I don't know if it was Jurassic World or the second one that came out. I think it was the second one that came out with Chris Pratt. Is we were with such a big group. There's 6 or 8 of us, and between everybody ordering and the food coming in and out and the waiter coming back and forth and stuff, I really didn't get to enjoy the movie because you're just constantly being distracted with the waiter coming by and stuff like that. So I guess it's got its pluses and its minuses.
So on your side, they actually bring the food to your seat. Interesting. So on ours, they give you a little buzzer thing, like you would be waiting at a restaurant, right? And you have to grab your food from the counter before you go into the theater, which I think is better in your case, because at least that way folks aren't coming back and forth and distracting the movie.
There was one that we went to in California when we went on vacation. McGuire and I went and saw Solo at the movie theater, and this was pretty cool. They had it was like a huge theater with like lots and lots of room in between rows. Like we had it was like a love seat, but it was like a double recliner love seat that we could sit in with like spot for your food. But it was kind of like more like what Ryan was discussing. It didn't have like a full menu, but you could still get like pizza and burgers and stuff like that. But it wasn't like it wasn't like Chili's at the movie theater type thing. But yeah, you had to go get your food, but then you could bring it in and sit down with it. But some of the other ones, I don't know. Movie Tavern, I want to say, is the chain that I've been to several times. And yeah, they bring you your food directly to where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So that is distracting.
Alamo Draft House is the one I'm thinking of, and it is.
Yeah, I've heard of those, and I've looked it up before, but I don't know if I actually ever went to one at an Alamo Draft. I think I did. I think maybe one.
The other thing is like actually eating your meal in a dark movie theater, especially requires utensils. Like that's why
I have a steak while you're watching a movie.
Gotta watch it.
It's freaking hard. That's why you're like, I'll take chicken fingers so I can hold them and put them in my mouth.
Don't get the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But look at the salad where you got to like mix up the dressing and everything, and you're just like in the dark.
Nothing.
Chicken fingers and fries. That's my go-to.
I mean, that's kind of what you're supposed to do, because otherwise you're just screwed.
Nothing beats one of the movie theaters in New Orleans though that had a full on daiquiri bar at the movie theater lobby. Like you would go and like where you would normally have concession with like the popcorn machines and stuff, it was just like nothing but daiquiri machines to choose whatever kind of daiquiri you wanted while you were in the movie theater.
See, like that's the thing too, is like I know, Clint, you enjoy beer. This is like one of the best things for me is being able to just, you can order alcohol to your seat, you can have a couple of drinks while you're watching the movie, you can have like some snack foods and stuff like that, like order nachos or whatever. And that's fun. But like I've seen people get like hammered for a movie, and it's like you're paying like $30 for this ticket because it's like, it's super expensive for whatever the seat and stuff, and you're paying like $8 or $9 a drink, and you're just pounding these drinks back. Why?
Not only that, it sucks to drink before you go see a movie excessively, because then you gotta pee like every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta make it an enjoyable experience.
Totally,
for sure.
Sabotaging it for yourself.
Right.
And
like,
for others,
like,
because I mean, if you're like me, the more I drink, the louder I get, and I don't shut up, and then I get told to shut up, and then I'm like, don't tell me to shut up. So it ruins the experience.
Yeah, I want to see Ryan get into the "don't tell me to shut up."
No, I'm just like not like I want to fight with them. I'm just like, don't tell me to shut up. I'm having a good time. You know.
I think we got the episode. You got the name of the episode. Don't tell me to shut up. There we go.
Don't forget the at the end of it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's required.
It adds character.
Absolutely required. I do. This conversation today has truly made me miss going to the movies with my friends so much. And then, one day soon.
I just going to the movies in general. I mean, I don't need a friend to do it. I mean, like I said, it's an experience on its own. And I hope someday that everything's back, not even necessarily back to normal, but things are good enough that we can go enjoy a flick, whatever action needs to be taken, sit down, get in that leather seat, turn on the heater if you need to, because it probably it'll probably be cold, and just sit there and enjoy whatever it is, Okay, I didn't even go see like something bad. I don't know, something really stupid. Yeah.
Just anything. Yeah. I mean, like we were talking about, like hopefully by November, I think that's when Black Widow comes out, and I'm hoping things will be under much better control, and we're in kind of like a safer spot to go out and see movies again by then. But if we're not, I personally, I'm in no rush. I think it's safety first for me anyways.
Right. Me too.
And
we live in a time when luckily, we can see them a lot at home. Like it's not even hard to get access to anything else if you really want to see it. But there is something magical about sitting in a movie theater and taking in a flick.
I think being immersed in the scenario is what I miss most. Being able to sit in the middle of a great theater with a big screen, great sound system, and especially if you're watching an action type movie, actually feeling the room vibrate versus, I mean, I don't have a sound bar or sound system in the living room. And yes, you know, I'll watch whatever movie is on TV or I'll pull it up on Netflix, whatever. But having that good sound system is key when you're watching certain movies as well.
Yeah.
Totally miss that.
Totally agree.
Totally.
As much as we're talking about the food being better these days, I don't miss the food because number one, it's, you know, not the greatest, and two, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
We're all classic for, I mean, going back to when I was like a teenager, I would sneak in Burger King because there was a Burger King place right next to the theater I would go to all the time as a kid. So of course you have your backpack, right? Trying to make sure you don't spill your drink. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm always shocked you guys have to sneak this stuff in. I mean, I remember when I think it was, oh crap, which Star Wars movie was it? Was it Episode 3? I brought in 2 large pizzas into the theater.
What?
Like I literally walked in with 2 large pizzas.
And they didn't stop you?
No, not at all.
Maybe it's a state to state thing. I don't know, because yeah, for us, they're like, yeah, you can't bring that in, sir.
Oh no, I brought in Chipotle burritos before. I brought in. I mean, usually when I go on Sunday mornings, I take my coffee in with me. Nobody says a word.
I'm just imagining Clint being really, really high and just walking into his own living room with all this stuff and thinking he's at a movie theater. I got away with it again, honey. Check it out. Got the large pizza sitting down to watch Back to the Future.
Yeah, right. That'd be it. We're watching movies like, oh, dude, I can't believe they just came out with a new Lord of the Rings. This came out in the early 90s. What are you talking about?
Whoa.
On that note,
Joey, what time?
It's time to go to the lobby, apparently.
Yes, it's time to go to the lobby. Our game this week is all about movie theater concessions. So you'll each take a turn picking from a category of candy, popcorn, or soft drinks, or pop soda for whatever you weirdos call it. And then you'll choose a number 1 to 6. Each category only has 5 trivia questions, though. So each of the categories has a trap that will force you to do one of 3 things, depending on which category's trap it is. You could end up having to choose an opponent to give 10 points to. You could end up taking away 10 of your points. Or trap number 3, you choose an opponent to switch points with. So obviously the third trap could end up being a positive, just kind of depending on what the situation is. I mean, if you're in the lead with 80 points and everybody else got 20 and 10, you are in trouble. But if it's vice versa, obviously that's a positive for you. So all the other questions are worth 10 points, and there is no loss for wrong answers because everybody's going individually. So 3 categories are, again, popcorn, candy, and soft drinks. And the numbers are 1 through 6 on all of those. And Clint, you are up first, sir.
I'm going to go candy and 6.
Candy number 6. Which candy is often displayed on your finger?
Often displayed on your finger? Which candy is often displayed on your finger? M&M's?
Please tell me somebody else knows the answer to this, because I thought this was one of the easiest ones.
We're talking about movie theater candy, Clint. So I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is just a Hawaii thing too, right? Because it could very well be that way.
It's probably just a Hawaii thing.
Sour Patch.
No, Ring Pops.
Oh.
Ring Pop is a movie candy?
Yeah, y'all don't have Ring Pops at y'all's
They don't have them here.
No.
I don't recall.
Candy. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was thinking Sour Patch because it gets all over your fingers.
Oh, God, y'all are overthinking this. All right, overthinker. Ryan, you're up.
I'll stay on candy. We'll do number 2.
Number 2. Which candy slogan is "Makes mouths happy"?
Mounds, right?
Nope.
What is it?
Nate, you don't know?
No.
I thought Twizzlers were like one of your favorite candies.
I don't know the slogans. I mean, I'll eat it.
Golly, I thought this. I was like, you know what? For once, I'm going to make kind of an easier game for the guys. But y'all's level of ignorance is just too far down.
They don't have Ring Pops sold in Hawaii at the convention.
Can you spell candy for 20 points?
Kandi.
Not the name of your favorite stripper. The name of Candy. Okay.
C-A-N space capital D. Candy.
Nate.
Let's go with soft drinks and 3.
What soft drink was originally invented for use as a mixer with whiskey? This one was very interesting to me because I did not know this.
So I feel like whatever I thought was going to be wrong.
I guess that might have been a hint. I still don't think you're going to guess it right. It's one of the more difficult ones.
I'm just going to guess ginger ale.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
No, but surprisingly close as
Dr.
far
Pepper.
as kind of flake. Did you just say ginger ale and Dr. Pepper are close to each other?
No, I
What
was
is
saying.
the matter with you?
That
He
was
was
his
saying
guess.
the
Go
answer
on.
is Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
No, it's actually Mountain Dew.
I see what you're
I
saying about it
know.
being similar. Okay, I gotcha.
Okay, I got to try this.
Yeah. I would
I'm
not
not
try
trying.
that. That
No,
is
I
not
like
4D
myself.
recommended and 4D approved. That's for
I am
sure.
absolutely next Dorksman game night. I'm gonna do.
So you're
Mountain Dew
saying
and
Mountain Dew and whiskey.
Yeah, it said something to do with like the old moonshiners, and that's where the mountain part comes from, or something.
whiskey. All right. Well,
So
I'm gonna
Friday
try
night,
it.
Nate.
Yeah,
Mountain
So
Friday
Dew.
night,
after-
Saturday.
After
Yeah.
one round, everybody has Ryan points. So let's see
Yeah.
if we can get on the board. Speaking of Clint, it is your choice.
Let's go popcorn in 1.
Okay, so you found the first trap. You found the switch points trap. So since everybody has Ryan points, you just end up not
Hey,
getting any points.
Ryan
for the
points.
round.
Ding the bell.
Oh. Sorry, I've been slacking this
Yeah.
episode. All right.
Yes, you have.
And now for the namesake, Ryan, please choose.
Soft drinks number 5.
What soft drink was named after founders Roy Allen and Frank Wright?
Roy Allen and Frank Wright. A&W root beer.
Very good, exactly
Ooh, good, there
correct.
you go.
First one on the board is Ryan. Y'all should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
Nate,
The shame.
Let's go with soft drinks and 2.
which soft drink slogan is "Obey your thirst"?
Sprite.
Sprite, very good. Okay, Clint with 0 points and in last place.
I know. I'll
Please
go
pick for round 3.
I'll go candy and number 3.
That is a trap, and it is negative 10 points. I can't make this stuff up.
Fantastic.
Ryan,
Good.
Stay on soft drinks number 1.
what is the oldest soft drink in America?
In America, Coca-Cola.
Nope. Anybody know?
Dr.
It is
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Very good.
Uh,
Too bad you don't get any points for it, though. Nate, your choice.
Let's go soft drinks and 4.
What soft drink was the first product ever to appear on the cover of Time magazine?
On Time magazine. I'm just gonna say Coke. I have no idea, honestly.
Coke is correct.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
nice.
Was it a Time Person of the Year?
No, I think just the product was on there. Although I think the computer one year was Time Person of the Year, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, I think so too. One of them. Yeah.
So, as a recap, we're halfway through. Clint has negative 10 points. Ryan has 10 points. And Nate has 20 points. So, Clint, start us off for our second half.
Popcorn number 3.
In which season, okay, so the 4 major seasons, not to be confusing, is the most popcorn consumed?
I'd go summer.
Nope, it's actually the
No.
fall or
Is it
autumn.
the fall? Damn it.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry.
You're not
Okay.
really sorry.
You can't even get back up to Ryan points right now. You're still in the negative.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for pointing that out. Clint's super excited.
Ryan,
let's do candy number 5.
a Hershey's Kiss mixed with white chocolate is called what?
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
A Hershey's Kiss mixed with white chocolate is called what?
I feel stupid.
You
Yeah, this
should.
Clint knows it.
Apparently, Clint knows what this answer
I know
is.
this answer. You guys can't see me, but I was shaking my head when he was reading the answer.
All I see is that thing pulsating whenever you
stalling.
talk. Like, whoomp,
It's
whoomp.
throbbing. That's what it is. It's throbbing.
Oh gosh. Choice words, pal. So mixed with white
Correct.
chocolate. What? Cookies and cream?
Nope. Everybody,
Hugs.
it's a hug.
What the hell is that?
It's
It's-
a Hershey Kiss mixed with white chocolate, you dingus.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Well, now you have.
Like
Go
legit.
try 'em. Nate,
Hello. Let's go popcorn and 2.
which state produces approximately 1/4 of the U.S. popcorn? And it's the most, as well as being 1/4. So I could have also asked it that way, but I didn't.
I barely know any U.S. states as it is.
I was gonna say it's funny you got.
Yeah, I truly have no idea. I feel like it's going to be in the heartland somewhere. I feel like it's in the heartland somewhere, but I
heard
can't-
you.
Yeah.
You can't even name one of the states in the heartland.
No.
Trying to help you out since you're Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair help.
I want to guess.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Clint.
Is it Iowa?
No.
No.
What would your
Is
next
it
guess
Idaho?
be? No. It's not potatoes, you
Yeah,
dingus.
potatoes.
It's Nebraska.
Is it Nebraska?
I would have
Oh,
never
yeah,
got
I know,
that.
corn.
Cornhuskers.
Corn Huskers. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
There you go.
Learn something new every day.
Like what a hug is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, shut your mouth, man.
Clint, the guy with negative 10 points. Let's see if we can get you on the board. Pick
Go
something.
candy. Candy 1.
What was the first candy bar to combine chocolate with crisped rice?
Was it Crackle?
Nope.
Was it
Nestle
Crunch?
Crunch.
Damn
Nestle
it.
Crunch.
That seemed like a trick question. All right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I probably wouldn't have gone with Nestle Crunch either.
Ryan.
Did we close out soft drinks?
No, there's still on one.
There is still one. I was trying to keep track. I don't remember if I missed it. Okay, so let's close it out. Number was that 6.
Well, if y'all would have figured this out.
Oh, damn it.
Last one for that category. It's a trap.
Stupid. Yes.
So choose an opponent to give 10 points to.
We'll give it to Clint.
Oh,
Ooh.
look at that. So sweet.
So nice.
Well,
of you.
it gives us
So
a
now
hint.
you're up to 0 points.
That's
I
the best
was
choice,
actually,
though.
I was actually hoping to end the game with negative points for a game you couldn't get negative.
I mean, that's a better strategy rather than giving it to
Nate.
Nate because then he still has a lead.
Yeah,
Right,
true.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
This is true. That was the point. All right, Nate.
Let's close out candy with number 4.
What candy bar consists of nougat, caramel, and peanuts wrapped in chocolate?
Oh, Henry?
What? What?
For real, dude?
Yeah.
I think even Ryan knows the answer to this one.
Henry. And is O. Henry have all that? I thought O. Henry had something else in it.
No, O. Henry has all that.
Snickers.
What is it,
just
Ryan?
all that?
It is a
Snickers. Yeah.
Snickers.
No.
Okay, I don't feel as
All
dumb
right.
now.
So,
I'm still going to take a poll of the Hawaii people and ask
So-
them, do you know what this candy is? I should ask even my mom and my dad.
Heading
My mom
into
and
the
dad probably
last-
won't even know.
Heading into the last round, Clint has Ryan points, Ryan has 10 points, and Nate still has 20 points because apparently I cannot make a game easy enough for y'all to do
It's
well
true, you
on.
can't.
So we're down to popcorn, so that's all that's left. Numbers 4, 5, and 6. So, Clint, kick us off.
I'll take 4.
The rise in popularity of this actually caused popcorn sales to decrease initially in the 1950s.
What is bubblegum?
No. It's
I have no
television because it kept
Oh.
people from going to the movie theaters.
All right.
Ouch. All right, so Clint, you ended with 0 points. Way to go.
Hey, it's better than my negative 10. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan and Clint's mom. All right, Ryan, you choose.
6.
Over 200 million boxes of this caramel coated popcorn are consumed in the U.S. alone.
Caramel colored popcorn?
Coated.
So you're looking for a brand?
Yes.
I'm drawing a blank because this is probably one of those things they don't sell out here.
Take me
Oh.
out to the
Yeah.
ball
Cracker Jack.
game.
Ah,
It's not peanuts. So Ryan ends with 10
Thank you for
points.
the
So
hint.
Nate, you are the winner, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you the last. No, you didn't get the points for it though. Nate, you get the last trivia question. What is the number one selling popcorn brand in the world?
Redenbacher?
Orville Redenbacher is correct. So Nate finishes with 30 points, more than Ryan and Clint combined.
Hell
and
yeah.
I give up. I'm not doing games anymore. Y'all can do them from now on. The easiest game I've ever made, and the
You guys
combined
broke
total
them.
for everybody was 40 points out of 100
I've never heard of hugs
possible
before.
points. Jesus.
Did you ever go buy candy during like Valentine's Day? 'Cause
Oh,
they're, like,
wait a
literally
minute. Wait a
everywhere.
minute. I got to defend my ring pop here. I didn't realize this was. I thought it was all movie related, not just. Here's a ring, random.
Okay.
Candy.
Okay. First of all, you still wouldn't have got it right.
No, I know, but I mean.
Okay, there you go. So stop complaining.
All right.
You get
Fair
so
enough.
bent out of shape when you don't win.
Look who's talking.
Hey, look, the 3 times
Look
I've
in the
played.
goddamn mirror.
Excuse me for the 3 times I've been able to play trivia
Look
for
in
getting
the
bent out of
mirror,
shape
sir.
when I have to switch points with you.
Hey, you know what? I'll do the game for next week. Joey, why don't you play next week's game?
Perfect. Love
There
it.
we go.
Let's
Just
do
you
it.
and Clint. You guys
And
go
I'll-
head to head.
And
And
I'll
Brian
host.
and I will put up commentary and
I like it.
and do it.
And for the record,
I'll host you. You do the game. How about that? We
yeah,
switch.
let's do it. Yeah,
It'd be
there
like
you go.
Freaky Friday.
it would
my
be.
disappointment is on myself, by the way. There's questions I feel like I should have
It's-
known.
It should be.
I really thought of fall for a minute in the popcorn season, but
It's
I had to
okay.
guess summer.
I thought you were about to say it because it's like the first thing out your mouth was.
I would have said summer too.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
I
if
figure
it was
more people go
fall
out.
or something
Right?
else.
Figure
you were
more
about to
people
say.
go and watch movies during the
The
summer,
movie.
so that would have
Yeah.
been my response too. Yeah.
That was my thought, but I get the fall too because people want to make popcorn at home and just stay home. So I get it.
It's okay. You tried, Clint. You tried.
I did try. I failed, but I tried.
It's all that matters. We're
I
happy
think too
to
the
have
school
you try.
consumption of it added up too for the fall.
Oh,
I
I
don't
guess
know
that
about
makes
y'all, but
sense.
our school does popcorn for concession for the kids and stuff like that too.
That's a
So-
good point.
And football games,
Football
you
games,
know.
See, we were only thinking about movie theaters in general. We weren't being open to the other paths for it. So, but fair.
Either way,
Either way, thank you, Joey, for the fun game that
Whatever,
you
shut up.
are so disappointed in us with.
also Mountain Dew. Come on, really? I still want to.
Hey, I'm doing it.
That sounds
I want to hear how
gross.
this goes.
I'm gonna do this. So make sure
Next
to
week,
join
it's
us
gonna happen.
on Dorksman Game Night Friday night 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll be playing Jackbox. Nate will have whiskey and Mountain Dew, so I'll be there with my drink,
And refer to himself in the third person.
and I will refer to myself in the third person. What else we got going on this week? Clint, you're probably doing some retro game streaming or some Switch
Yep.
streaming with. I know Andrew jumped in the pre-party, talked about that. You guys might play some Mario Kart this week.
Something. We'll see. Hopefully
Yeah.
Tuesday night. So
Yeah.
I think Monday I'm gonna try to stream some zombie mode stuff for Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Nice.
And I'm sure Ryan will be on at some point streaming some retro games.
Yeah,
Makes
but I'm
streams
on my
his
own
own
channel.
channel now.
Yeah.
So cool for us.
Cool. Yeah, I'll probably be on doing some Diablo. It was fun hanging out with a few of you guys the other night while I was smashing stuff on Diablo. So
All the rest of us will be on the Dorksman channel streaming. That's where you can find
Well,
the three of
yeah,
us.
I'm on the Dorksman channel on
Twitch.tv.
Fridays.
_Dorksman.
You are. You
That's
are.
fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Is it fair?
It's fair.
Is
It's
it?
not fair because Joey put in all this work for this game and we suck. That's why.
Oh,
you
we
forget.
suck again.
Mike's also been on the Dorksman channel. While he doesn't
Oh, yeah,
pay
MC's
attention to the
there.
We
chat.
need to
but
do some
yeah.
call. We need to do Call of Duty again. That was
Yeah,
fun.
we gotta
need
do
to
some
Call-
Warzone again.
Maybe
That was
Wednesday night. Maybe me, Ryan, Nate, and MC can jump on
There you go.
Call of Duty again. And Clint can moderate.
Whatever night
And-
Clint's not doing Mario Kart, we'll jump on for some Warzone.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, so make sure you guys are following us Twitter, _Dorksman, and Instagram the same as well. Feel free to email us at dorksman@gmail.com. Again, we probably will read it, but we probably won't respond. But maybe you might be the first or second person for me to respond to. Actually, I did respond to Jess the other day. She emailed
You did.
about
Which
something.
was-
So I
Well, no, she
responded.
emailed you about the bell before you.
Yeah, before she
emailed
heard
about
the
bell.
episode.
It was
Yeah.
actually really cool.
Yeah. So she can see the future. So make sure
Right.
You know, yeah. What else we got going on? We got t-shirts for sale right now on TeePublic. We'll put the link up again. Shout out to Julie for doing the amazing art. We got the Pride logo on there, the updated original 4D logo, and we also have the Dorksman Supreme logo in two variations: the upside down exclusive or the right side up exclusive, depending which way you want to wear your t-shirts.
Is it upside down the chase?
Yeah, upside down is the chase version.
That you can easily get for the same price.
Yeah, that you get the same price.
Yeah.
So
but
if you're
it's
listening-
off in 2 days, so if you want to get that
Yeah.
one, good, get it now. We're taking it down by Wednesday.
No, we're not. But if you're listening to this episode on Monday morning, you should still have a few hours to take advantage of the TeePublic sale. It's cheaper the first 72 hours. So if you bought one already, thank you so much for the support.
Please share your pictures when you get them. I know they're not going to
Yeah,
come in,
please
today,
do.
but we'd love to see them. Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see that stuff.
I bought Ava one, just a heads up.
Oh, did you?
I did.
That's awesome. Did you buy something for Bosley, like a dog onesie?
I didn't. He's not big on wearing
Or is that
anything.
not wearing those things?
No.
All right. Well, that was fun talking about movies. Now I miss movies in the theater. I miss you guys, kind of.
Hey, I got to see you in March, man.
That's true.
Hey, I got to
Rest
see
of
you in
You
March,
guys
man.
could have been
The
there.
rest of you, though.
Yeah, what's
What's
your
your
excuse? I'm
What's
just
the
kidding,
rest of you guys'
obviously.
excuse?
I'm not going to answer that on video.
You
Anyway.
went to him technically. He didn't come to you. He also skipped out on the trip.
I
So
did.
if you would have, taken a train to Louisiana, I'd have been glad to meet up.
Fair enough.
Fine.
Fair enough.
I want to
All
see
right.
this train from Hawaii to Louisiana, though.
That'd be a pretty dope train.
When he was in
Yeah.
Seattle, you dingus.
I knew what he was talking about. Lay off the edibles, Clint.
That's a long
probably
ass
would
train
be.
ride.
That'd
Dude,
be like 4 days.
that
Yeah.
train from Vancouver down to Seattle took forever. I thought, I'm like, damn. I mean, it's convenient. It was cheap, but I'm like, I don't want to do
Yeah.
this all the time.
Anyways, thank you everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode 51. We'll be back at it again next week. Anyone else got anything else to add before we close this
One
out?
thing I want to mention, I know that we do have a lot of people that listen on SoundCloud. We're approaching our 1-year mark with the podcast here, so we are likely moving away from SoundCloud. So if you haven't already kept up with the social channels, please keep that aware, just to make sure that you guys can still keep on track with our new episodes as they drop each week.
Excellent. Good point. Yeah, we'll we'll make an announcement once that happens. So, yeah. With that, that's my secret. I'm always angry, and I'm sorry, Joey.
Do the do.
Word, homies.
Please, no gang signs.
Hugs.